Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly.
Boy, 79 just keeps on giving, doesn't it? I mean, I thought we were on a good track finally. And we got Disco Godfather. We got fucking
The Evictors.
The Evictors is on good track, right? We got 2 in a row.
Nope.
Nah.
Not quite. Not quite, my friend. Because now here's the thing. This is a movie that was requested a while ago.
Yes.
And when I looked it up, I was like, because at the time it was requested, we weren't on 79 yet, and I looked it up and I saw that this movie's pretty fucking low rated. And I was like, well, when we get to 79, there's no way in hell that we're not watching this. Like, it fits all the fucking categories.
Right.
The movie's called The Dark, by the way.
Yeah.
Fits all the fucking categories. Low rated, like horror thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, like sci-fi kind of bullshit.
So, and I don't know, like, from the request, I don't know if the person who requested it liked it. I'm guessing not. They probably didn't like it.
I would hope not. I'd probably judge someone if they liked this movie. I certainly hope
you didn't like this movie, because this movie is a pile of fuck.
It's a potato.
This has, like, some of the ugliest visuals I've ever probably not ever seen.
The cinematography is garbage.
Yeah, it's
like they filmed it on the fucking cheapest camera they could find, which they probably did. But, like, they didn't set up any of the shots.
Well, it's just... Here's the thing. This movie takes its title very literally.
Oh, it's dark.
Because the film is dark. Even if it's daytime. Film is dark.
Yep.
Even if it's in a fucking room with lights everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fucking dark. It's like the whole movie is trying to put you to sleep. Like, it's trying to lull you to sleep.
Yes. And they almost did for me, actually. I almost fell asleep multiple times because this movie, not only is it fucking just awful to look at, it's boring.
That goes without saying. It's fucking boring.
And it's fucking, it's like a snooze fest. Because nothing really happens in this movie. Like,
nothing exciting.
There's a few deaths, but they're all, like, too dark to even know what's going on, including the end fight scene.
The end epic showdown.
Epic showdown shootout. Like, you barely... Like, it's so dark in all these scenes, you can barely comprehend what's happening.
Well, there's some scenes where not only is it dark, but it like, the editing and, like, the way it's cut, like, it just ends, and I don't even know, like, what happens. Like, the first murder scene, it literally just ends.
Well, like...
Nothing happens.
Yeah, like, you get a girl walking, and, like, you just see, like, these weird fingers on her, and then fucking it ends.
Yeah, that's it. And every murder scene is the same way. It's played the fuck out, where someone's walking somewhere, and they start, and the soundtrack for this movie is riveting, by the way, because almost every scene is just straight up fucking just silent.
Sorry, my phone went off. Fuck.
How dare you interrupt this amazing review of this amazing film.
I need to silence my phone. Fuck.
And someone's just walking in, like, a parking lot or something, and then the music starts going. The dark. The dark. And then there's, like, hands, and then usually, like, someone screams and then end. And a few murders, they mix it up where, we see that our murder man is apparently a big boy. So he knocks over something, and then he has a laser eyes, and then go pew pew, and then we see, like, a stock explosion from, like, Star Wars or Star Trek, like, laid over somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The stupid thing, this annoys me, because every murder, the aftermath's the same. The person is dead, and their head is decapitated.
Yeah, because, okay, so what the movie is basically about is that all these murders are happening, and detectives are trying to figure it out.
There's a murder every night.
And there's There's a murder every night, and then there's the first girl that gets killed. Her dad is also trying to figure out who the murderer is.
Whatever.
That's it. That is the whole movie.
There's a reporter who does nothing other than become like the love interest of the dad, but that's it.
Well, like literally, that's the entire movie. This monster is killing people, and people are investigating it,
which is fine. That's fine.
Usually
in theory, that's fine.
If you're a competent filmmaker, that can work.
But
you can go with simplistic plots, especially if you're doing horror. You don't need a lot.
No.
But we're not dealing with competent filmmakers.
No, because the as mentioned murders are the most boring shit ever, and the mentioned investigation and characters are also the most boring shit ever.
I mean, we're dealing with filmmakers that are totally okay with their film looking like it was filmed in a dumpster.
It's a potato.
Yeah.
It literally, like a dirty potato from the store.
It's like a sack of warm garbage.
Yeah. That's the visual.
That's the visual
feast that you get. Like
dark, warm garbage.
Literally, it's the movie. Like a bundle of cardboard boxes. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah, every murder, because there's a murder every night, and it's always someone gets killed, and they find out that their head was decapitated, and it's like a pattern, so they know that there's a killer.
I love how they always say decapitated, right? Because every time the detectives are investigating, they're like, oh man, like they keep decapitating, but there's no pattern, and that
is the pattern.
That is the pattern. I think they meant there's no motive.
Well, yeah, because at the very end, they're like, I don't understand. Like, how can there be no pattern? Like, 5 murders and there's no pattern. It's like, no, there is a pattern.
There's decapitated. He's decapitating them. But what I don't get, major plot hole here, he shoots laser eyes and it explodes, right? We see in the end scene.
This is what I was going to mention.
We see in the end scene that, like, when he shoots the laser eyes, people fly up and, like, disappear because he fucking, like, blasts them
or they just light on fire.
So we're supposed to believe that he fucking blasts these, like, the murder victims, and they just come out decapitated.
Well, here's the thing. Out of the, like, 4 or 5 murder scenes we get.
Yeah, 2 are blasted.
2, he blasts them with lasers, and it just... we get like an explosion that's like fucking copied and pasted onto like someone screaming.
Yes.
But that's supposed to be a decapitation. Because in other murders, when it doesn't conveniently cut away, in one of the murders we do see him literally ripping a head off some guy. So it's like, that's my assumption.
That's one murder,
That's one murder, but that's the assumption.
You only see a decapitation once.
But that's the assumption from the ones you don't see, that's what he does. So apparently, also, when he laser blasts them, that cuts their head off. Why does it show him exploding then?
I don't know.
Who cares? I don't know.
Well, but then it discredits the final scene, because if he does blast them and they're decapitated, why in the end scene are they all just exploding and bursting into flames?
Because fuck you.
Because fuck logic, right?
Yes, because, we had to get an epic showdown at the end. Even though it's not epic at all.
I also hate how this movie kind of doesn't follow, like, a basic plot structure. It's like, first act, you get, like, the detectives doing all this shit. Second act, you get the fucking dad coming in and the reporter, and, like, then they kind of get together. And then the third act is kind of weird because it feels like a first act. Because it's them finally getting down to investigating the murders.
Well,
it's weird.
The cops are still investigating it.
Right. Well, no, I mean, but like, so the third act is basically the dad and the reporter going in down and like figuring out what the fuck is going on. But shouldn't have this been in the beginning of the movie?
You say that, but the end of the movie is literally them, the fucking dad and reporter. They find out from
the yacht.
Someone. I don't even remember who the fuck told them. But they find out that there's this guy that...
Well, remember, he goes to the yacht owner because he goes to the psychics. We'll get to that.
But why does he go to the yacht owner? Do you remember?
No, because it doesn't explain shit.
I'm pretty sure there was something. I just don't fucking care enough to, like, remember it.
Well, my thing is, it doesn't explain where the dad is getting this information of where these people are. He just shows up conveniently right when he needs to be there.
Yeah.
And, like, he only actually gets the address from one... Like, he gets an address from one person. But, like, the other times, he just kind of shows up, and that's exactly where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because plot convenience.
Well, he does have, for the cops at least, because in the early part of the movie, he's, like, following the detective around literally everywhere.
Scanner.
He has a scanner, and he just keeps telling him, like, wherever you go, I'll go, and... You know, it's a great character, also, when your character in the movie always wears sunglasses indoors.
Well, because, like...
That's a true mark of great character.
Remember, he goes to the reporter, and I guess she mentioned something about how the psychic was at the party on the boat, and
so
there was an actor that came by, but then he goes to the yacht owner.
So here's the logic of the scene of that, though. In the beginning of the movie starts after you get past the stupid fucking Star Wars scroll about alien encounters.
Yes.
There's a party, and there's like a woman playing solitaire, but apparently she's a psychic, and an actor comes up to her, and for some reason, like, she sees him dying.
Now, at this point, you're probably wondering, like, okay,
what the fuck?
She was just playing solitaire. I was even thinking, like, is she supposed to be, like, psychic or, like, clairvoyant or something?
Yes.
But no, she's a gypsy woman. And
same thing, Will.
And we're supposed to
believe... In the logic of this movie, it's the same fucking thing.
We're supposed to believe that just because she was playing solitaire... So everyone who plays solitaire is a psychic.
Yes.
By the way. So if you play solitaire...
She sees things.
If you're like an old boomerino if you see your boomerino parents on the fucking computer playing solitaire, they're fucking psychics.
They know.
They're clairvoyant and they can see into the future.
But yeah, this woman, like, she sees him dying, and that's like a consistent, like, that just goes through the movie because she tries telling the cops, they don't listen, and then we get a fucking scene where I still don't get this because it's like she's asleep and she's having like a bad dream, and then it just cuts to like the reporter like on a horse falling down, and then she stands up and the fucking clairvoyant woman is right there doing like Yoda talk about like,
yes.
Have patience, young one, you will find out soon, follow the actor. And like because of that, because she told her like follow the actor, she tells the dad like, yeah, she was at a party.
But
and blah,
I love
blah, blah.
this because this is at like the probably halfway point, and we don't actually get them going into that lead until about, I'm not shitting you, like 15 minutes left in the movie.
Because at that point it's like, I guess the dad has literally nothing better to do, so he finally follows up on that fucking yacht party. And then he finds the clairvoyant woman.
This is all in the last, like, 15 minutes of the movie.
Like, last 20 minutes.
This could have been in the first 20 minutes of the movie, but no, we had to get a scroll and poorly done, like, a few poorly done murder scenes.
Well, we also had to get riveting scenes of the reporter arguing with her boss about things that don't matter.
And the two detectives, one of them is always drunk.
He's fucking
and I'm not saying his character is always drunk. I'm saying the actor playing him is continuously drunk.
Well, there is a scene where the actor has like a snack box, and it's supposed to be like a box of like candy or something, but he keeps drinking out of it. What do you think is in there, Will?
No, candy was coming out, and then he fake chews.
He fake chews. There's multiple scenes of him fake eating. Because
there's
that's his
also
thing.
Multiple scenes of him real eating, and I don't understand. In every scene, he's eating,
there's
but he's also very, very drunk.
Well, there's like maybe 2 scenes in the whole movie where he's not either fake eating or real eating.
I know, and
like
and when he has real food, he's always stuffing his fucking mouth with it.
I know, and then but the thing is that if he doesn't have the food in his mouth, then he has to just kind of stand there and fidget around like a fucking drunk uncle or something. I don't know. It's baffling, but we also get like the reporter arguing with her boss a lot about like, none of this makes any sense about how like they can't report this, they can't do this. It's like, bitch, that's your job. So you fucking report the news.
But we also get scenes of like a protest going on because everyone thinks the police aren't like investigating this stupid thing, and it's like, but they are, and then we get this stupid subplot where everyone thinks it's a zombie because it's fucking
the Mangler's a zombie.
Someone fucking leaked that the cells on its skin are dead or whatever.
Bro, we get a stupid scene of the cops in a fucking classroom, and some guy's doing a fucking slideshow of a bunch of fucking close-ups of cells, and he's just like, basically says that the DNA cells are all dead, and then the fucking captain, who's like the stereotypical like fucking salty bitch, she's like, don't talk about zombies, and then at the very end, literally end of the movie, the guy's just like, all those dead skin cells there, they point to one thing. That our killer is not of this world.
Well, it's so weird because this plot structure is just all over the place. In places where you think there'd be like some explanation of what's going on, there's none. And then in other places, there's explanations of stuff we already know. And then they just fumble with everything. It's like, and they actually don't explain like anything.
No.
Like, this movie explains very little of what's going on. Like, of how the dad knows exactly where to be at exactly the right time. How the detective knows where the dad is at all times and where the reporter is, and that they're together and that he can follow them all the time at the very end of the movie for some reason. And that he knows to follow them for some fucking reason. I don't fucking understand. There's so many plot holes here that they just don't explain jack shit. They explain one thing, and that's how the dad finds the fucking psychic.
Because eventually, the dad is such a player that he takes the reporter home for a night of fucking. But right before they fuck, the reporter gives him a little exposition dump
of stuff we already know.
Of all this stuff about the psychic that we already know, and then after that, he decides to finally...
That's when he goes to the yacht.
At the very end of the movie.
At the very end of the movie, he finally follows up. I don't know what the structure is. I've never seen a movie do this where they finally follow up at like the last 20 minutes of the film.
Because they
this is where the revelation should happen, not like oh yeah, maybe I should do that. It's like lazy. It's like they're like, oh okay, well maybe we should have the dad actually do something then. Because he hasn't done anything up until this point. He's sat in bars and gotten nowhere with his leads.
False, sir.
And he talks to the detective a lot.
No, sir. We got a great scene of the dad going to a fucking, Sonic drive-in and talking to the waitress.
About nothing.
About how she's scared of the dark.
Yes.
Poetic.
I don't understand this movie's plot structure. And it's so fucking just all over the place. It's very apparent that these people, and I say this a lot, these people had no fucking idea how to make a movie and make it coherent and fucking makes any sort of sense.
But Will, Alien
with laser eyes, and I was explaining this to you. How do you have a movie? You have an hour and a half movie with an alien that can literally shoot lasers out of its eyes
and decapitates people.
And how do you make a movie that is this fucking boring and bland and just not exciting at all?
Dude, there is, because the psychic ends up getting this scene makes no sense. She sees the alien in a mirror one night, and apparently the sight of the alien is so powerful in the mirror that it wrecks her fucking house and gives her a stroke.
Yeah, but it's weird because this makes no sense because
shit.
None of the other people that have seen the alien had a stroke.
Because she's a clairvoyant, she has a special connection to aliens.
But how did the alien fuck up her house? Does it have psychic powers? No,
apparently.
It's shown nothing to have psychic powers. It has super strength and laser eyes. That's it.
Psychic powers. But it has psychic powers with
for one scene.
One person on Earth, Will.
Yeah.
A single person, okay? Because she knows the actor, I guess. Because apparently it's pure fucking destiny that at the end of the movie, the alien has to kill this one actor. It's fucking destiny.
I just love the end of this fucking movie because it's like the last like 15 minutes, and the dad and the reporter are at a bar like they usually are, and they just happen to be at the same bar where the actor like roughed up his girlfriend. She comes back into the bar and tells them that he was just there and he's looking for his keys.
Yeah,
like, it's pure happenstance that this happens. Like there's no reason they're at that bar. They don't explain why they're at that bar. They're just there, and it's just pure coincidence that they're at the same bar that actor's going to be at.
Well, sir, you missed the great explanation where they said that, you know, because he's an actor and young actors go to bars, that they're just going to go to every single bar in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles! Do you know how many bars and clubs there are in Los Angeles?
Oh, thousands of bars in one night until they finally find their single actor man.
And they just happen to be at the right place at the exact right time because plot convenience.
And they finally find it. But I also like that the psychic, right before she yeets out of the movie, tells our dad that, you know, if you don't like stop him from killing the actor, then like he'll become more powerful than ever and he'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, but he does kill the fucking actor.
He kills the actor and it's just like, eh.
It's very like, I don't know. I love how this movie has zero tension too.
Oh, fuck that.
It doesn't build any tension. There's no like connective tissue here. There's not enough here to make you excited about anything.
No.
It's like even the action scenes, like, so you know the final action scene's coming, and like it was so lackluster, but I knew it would be because there's nothing like, there's no tension to build you up and be like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be a really cool shootout scene. It's just like stupid.
Bro, the end after our fucking two characters run through dark corridors for 5 minutes. All the cops show up and they start shooting at this fucking thing. And we just get shots of, like, cops running up to, like, rooftops and rafters for no reason. And then our dude laser shooting them. And then it's just, like, we just see, like, badly lit people on fire.
Well, yeah, but it only, like, it's weird because it's actually not weird. It's hilarious because he'll shoot lasers and they'll go nowhere near the actual, like, policemen.
But then they like
shoots to the side, but they all fall off like it hit them directly.
Yeah, like there's shots of like people like standing on like a rooftop, and he shoots the laser eyes, and the laser eyes like there's like an explosion that's like on the wall below them, like 5 feet below them, but they pretend like it's a fucking direct hit.
My favorite part about the scene is there's fucking policemen in the rafters where there's literally no access to those rafters anywhere in the fucking building. Like, they're just there. They're just, like, conveniently there so they can fall off and maybe it'll look kind of cool. But it doesn't,
That's why!
Yeah, but it doesn't explain how they got there. They're just fucking random policemen on the rafters.
Why do you need explanations? Well, is it not enough that you get some super cool shots of dudes in the dark falling off rafters?
That'd be fine if it was actually cool.
No, it's just dark as shit.
It's dark as shit. He shoots the laser. It goes 5 feet away from him, and then they fall off the rafter.
And then they just bore like lazily.
They just like roll off the rafter,
and that's it.
That is our final like shootout.
And our indestructible man, our indestructible alien zombie man, who, by the way, looks like a fucking bad like zombie makeup. But he's an alien, I guess.
It's like the discount version of a zombie from the Thriller music video.
Yeah, if that.
Like, and it's wearing like a leather jacket and like fucking button-up shirt.
And it's like, it's not like huge, but he's like, I guess like taller than the normal person because he can like knock over fucking columns and knock through walls. He only does that twice in the movie, but
well, he knocks through I love before the final fight scene. I think we should mention he breaks through a concrete wall. He like throws the actor through a concrete wall, and then our two leads, the fucking dad and the reporter, they go into a fucking room and they close and lock a wooden door.
And they stand there like, oh, we're safe. We're safe. And then the dude just comes and breaks through.
It's like,
did you fucking...
It's like, bro, he fucking broke through concrete. You think fucking wood is gonna stop him?
Yeah, he's an 8-foot tall man who can break through concrete. Like, is not how this works. But, you know, he's indestructible now because he killed the guy, right?
Because he's shooting and shooting. Like, they're all shooting at him, and he doesn't go down. And then all of a sudden, the guy, the dad,
he finds a torch that's on fire, and the reporter's in danger. So he runs it and waves it at the alien, and then he lights his pants on fire, and the alien explodes and disappears. End movie. Not quite, though, because we also get a scene of our dad in a fucking robe looking over the valley, and then the reporter comes out and looks at him through a fucking potato camera angle.
And then we get to see a blind guy.
The blind guy has been in almost every murder scene in the movie. There's been the blind guy. And then we get a fucking narration of, like, how in our future close encounters, it is those who don't fear the dark who will be safe. Because the blind man doesn't fear the dark. That's why he's safe. End movie. That's how the movie ends. That is the end of the Kino.
Yeah.
Because the blind man doesn't fear the dark, he's safe, because that makes so much sense in the...
Too much sense.
Literally, why?
I don't understand any of this movie, because, like, I mean, I get they're trying to explain that there's... Okay, so here's what I got from the movie, what little they gave me.
I'm genuinely curious what you got from this movie.
There's an alien, obviously.
Yes.
That kills people at random to get stronger.
Supposedly.
Yes. But it also alludes to the fact that maybe he's choosing his victims, which I don't get either. But anyway, that's I'm going to what I know. What I got. Okay.
I know.
So an alien comes down to Earth and is killing people because he grows stronger, because he wants to become indestructible. He can shoot lasers, and he's super strong. There's a clairvoyant psychic woman that knows he's attacking people, does barely anything about it. Gets yeeted so hard by wind she has a stroke.
Has a fucking stroke.
But she tells the dad and the reporter information about it, and then there's 2 detectives that are investigating the murders, and that's about it.
Yes.
That is, like, literally the only things I can actually, like, 100% say for certain happen in the movie. And now everything else, I don't know why the alien's there. I don't know why he chooses the people he chooses to kill, because he literally has an entire city of Los Angeles to kill, and he only kills 5 people. I don't understand it.
Someone wanted an alien in the movie.
I don't get why the detective is so uncooperative and, like, thinks the dad is, like, this giant dickhead.
To be fair, that plot thread lasts for, like, 5 minutes, and then they fucking completely forget about it. I don't
know why there's, like a throwaway scene where there's a protest about policemen not doing their job correctly. And,
I know, and it's like...
It's, like, thrown away, like, in no time flat. Like, there's a 2-minute scene of them at the station with a protest going on and the reporter trying to get information, and then never, ever, ever mentioned again.
We just get the cops yelling at the reporters that they're, like, inflaming the tensions by reporting on the fact that there's fucking people getting their heads cut off every night.
But why? Why would there be a protest? I mean, I get it if, like, the policemen or the detectives weren't, like, doing their job correctly, or if they were, like, causing more deaths or something like that, there'd be more cause for this protest. But literally, they're just doing their fucking job, and there's this giant protest because 3 people at that point had died.
Dude, there's nothing... Like you said, there's nothing to latch onto.
There's no good meaty bits of this movie.
No.
It's just all gristle and fat.
It's a potato. It's a fucking, like, expired potato.
It's sinew. This movie is just pure sinew.
It's an expired
gristly,
potato.
Chewy, yeah, it's a mess.
It's a soggy fucking French fry. Like,
I just don't understand how they thought this movie made any sort of sense. Like, how can you watch this movie? Like, I'm assuming they did at least a test screening.
Oh, please.
Or maybe. I have no fucking idea. How can you watch this movie and be like, yeah, you know what? I totally get it. This movie makes a lot of sense. They explain everything perfectly, and there's no loose threads.
Well, that's a whole different story. I just don't get how you could watch this and be like, yeah, this is fine. This is entertaining.
I don't either. I don't, and honestly, like, it's kind of sad, but like, I don't have anything else to say. It's such a bland, stupid, boring, like, non-important movie that it's just so forgettable that I don't have anything. I can't even like waste my more time talking about what I hate because I've already explained it, and it's such a short, stupid throwaway movie where nothing happens and nothing's explained that I don't know what else to say about it.
I can't even think of a single like positive thing to say about it.
Yeah, what could you like, cuz sometimes we have takeaways where it's like, okay, we kind of like this part. But like honestly, I kind of hated almost every frame of this movie.
Yeah, the one scene that was like mildly entertaining was when he picks up the fucking guy, throws him through a shack, and then rips his head off. But again, it's filmed in fucking pitch black.
Like, honestly, I think this movie would have helped. It could have helped if they brightened some of it, or like at least well lit something. Yeah. You know, like if they well lit something, maybe it could have been at least a little entertaining, right? Like, we could have come away with, like, being like, okay, it was really stupid, but at least the deaths look, like, ridiculous enough to, like, be entertaining.
Or they could have, tried filming it with some
think about pizzazz. It. Like, in any other movie that you know of, if you know anything about filmmaking, it takes time to set up a shot. You have to make sure the lighting's...
Tripod.
I want to say this slower so everyone understands that this movie did not do this. You have to make sure the lighting is correct.
No. Just film as is.
Seriously, they did like natural light, but all the natural light is like non-existent because everything looks fucking dark as shit.
It's just dark and dingy, like it's just,
and not in a good way. Like, it's not like,
No, it's not atmospheric.
It's not atmospheric. It's not like one of those movies where it's like, oh, like this looks really good because it's natural lighting. No, it's just they filmed in the dark all the time.
Yeah.
With barely any light to see at all.
Like, everyone looks like they're falling asleep or drunk.
I would be too if I had to be in this movie, to be honest. So
yeah, you'd be that detective.
No, like, I'm not gonna say this is the worst movie I've ever watched in my entire life because it's not. It's just kind of like, it's one of the more forgettable ones. It's just like, there's nothing important here. There's nothing to like engage you in this movie, in this story.
No.
There's nothing, like you said, there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to like, there's no tension, there's no drama, there's barely any romance.
There's nothing cool.
There's no comedy. There's like, it's just an anti-movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie, but barely.
Like, you watch this and you will not remember it the next day.
I don't think I will, to be honest, tomorrow. I'll remember that we watched it.
Like, the only thing I can say is that it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. That's literally the mildest compliment I can give this.
That's the best compliment I can give it.
That I've seen worse.
I've seen worse, but my God, just have more to your movie.
But just try harder, please.
Try at all.
Yeah, like something.
They barely tried.
Like, just because you have like 2 crane shots that last 2 seconds and like an occasional like tracking shot that lasts like 5 seconds does not make your movie fucking cool.
I think that's one of our biggest sins on this podcast. Sometimes like movies, they just do not do anything to fucking have like pizzazz.
Excite you.
Like, they're just like, okay, let's set up a tripod far away and we'll just have the actor walk towards the tripod.
Like, that's almost the only thing about it, is that like at least there's a tripod, I guess.
Well,
it could have been handheld.
Okay,
it could have been like Uwe Boll's movies, where it's just.
Is that the only compliment we can give this movie? Literally, that there's steady shots.
That's it.
That they they didn't shake the camera a lot.
That's it.
That is the only compliment we can give this movie.
That's a single compliment.
The camera was steady.
They did the most basic fucking thing ever.
Put that on the DVD cover. Fucking The Dark. Team Cone rated this 1 out of 5. The camera was steady, in quotations.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. The camera was steady.
I didn't feel like throwing up. 2 thumbs up.
God. If that's the biggest compliment we can give it,
that's it. That's 2 compliments. The
should
camera was steady, and it's not the worst thing ever. Wow.
That should tell you all you need to know about this, how we're going to rate this. How would you rate this?
Again, it's not the worst thing ever.
No.
I'm going to have to say, just on that level, 2 out of 10.
2. But
because
it barely earns that 2.
Barely.
It
fucking barely.
It does not do a lot to earn that 2, but it barely earns the 2 because it's not fucking Savage Water.
Like, if somebody out there enjoys this, I'm deeply happy for you.
I'm kind of concerned.
I mean, look, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you can find enjoyment in this.
I don't know how you could.
Because this is, like, shockingly boring. That's the thing. Like, I've seen movies that are literally nothing but people talking. Like, people in a house talking. And those movies are more exciting, more interesting than a movie about an alien that shoots lasers out of his eyes and rips people's heads off.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Again, think about that concept, and this is the best they could do with that concept.
And this is what we have.
This is the best they could produce out of that concept with what they had.
Like, this came out in the same year as Alien. And this is the best they got for us, baby.
Like, obviously they had at least a little bit of a budget. There is special effects in this movie.
Yeah, there's, like, actors who've been in other movies. I don't know if, like, they just fucking paid them in booze or something, but they
had to. But this is the best you could do. This is the best you could do with an alien that shoots laser beams out of its freaking eyes.
I know, like,
this is the best you got? Are you fucking kidding me?
This sack of potatoes.
Like, really?
This is the best they could do.
5 death scenes, and you fucking leave us with this fucking stupid ass shootout where the fucking monster gets combusted into flames
and just vanishes.
Even though it's supposed to be indestructible.
It's supposed to be indestructible. Unless it's fire, apparently.
Again, this is the best you got. That's the last thing I can say about this movie. That was the best you could do.
How shameful.
That was it. That was the best you got with what you had.
I know. Like, did you even try? No.
Who's the audience here?
People with insomnia.
Yeah, because this is Z-Quill right here. This is fucking just puts you right down.
It does. That's why the whole thing looks like the way it does. It's just there to fucking lull you away to sleep.
Yeah, if you have like severe insomnia, just lay down on your couch
and just put this
on. Go
to
Prime and watch The Dark.
Yeah.
Trust me, you'll be asleep in the first like 20 minutes.
I know. It's not like it's gonna scare you or anything.
Total snooze fest.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done. This is it.
For They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to you all later.
Bye. The dark.